Hello, witches and tarot readers and new people to tarot. I wanted to make a little video on the 3 cards of the major arcana that scare people, that make people have pause. And I'm using the Unfolding Path Tarot. Right now, this is currently my favorite tarot deck. I go back and forth all the time, but this one's the one right now. And I love the illustrations. They're very different, updated. So we have the Tower, we have Death, and we have the Devil. Let's talk about the Devil. So typically the Devil is shown chained. He has got 2 little people, a man and a woman, chained to him. And the Devil card, for the most part, is, really about earthly desire. So being too grounded, too earthly, too into like greed and earthly desires and needs. I don't need to say, but I'm sure you can read between the lines. Really just wanting to seek pleasure and not really being spiritually grounded, right? For lack of a better term. So being too much in the body, too much in the pleasure. But it can also really signify marriage, not in a bad way. It can signify marriage in a reading, because when you read tarot cards together, they tell a story. So it can signify a commitment or a marriage. It can signify, a grounding of sorts that maybe someone actually needed because they've been too up into the clouds. And so it's not necessarily negative, right? It's really more about like taking a look at your desires and how much you've been playing into your own physical needs. And is there a chance to balance that with the spiritual? The Death card is actually one of my favorite cards in the tarot, and I love this one. Just, oh, so beautiful. But the Death card is the death of the ego. So it's not the death usually of a physical body or person. It represents the death of a bad situation, the death of the ego, the death of, some kind of part of you that's no longer serving you. It's change, and it's good change. It's like shedding something and letting go of something and bringing in something new, because we're constantly living and dying, right? We're constantly, parts of us are dying and changing, and that's all this really represents. And then the Tower, which I've pulled more than I'd like to in my lifetime, but that's okay. Tower is big change, big change. It's not subtle. It's something that shakes your very foundation. It's like someone takes your life and your life's a snow globe and they go like this, and then you have to figure things out again. The dust settles and you're like, oh, this is like a whole nother life that I have now. This is good. It's a lot of times the Tower, in my opinion, it may not be pretty, like the change may be ugly when it's happening or really hard to get through, but when you get on the other side of it, you're stronger, you're more spiritual, you're more evolved. It's always for the better.